Morning, everybody. I hope you're all well and in good spirits. I'm doing pretty good. I like to feel. And I want to thank a subscriber, Paula, for always sharing knowledge with me that helps me grow. Recently, she had made me aware of an incident in her home country that I read up on, and it made me cry. And so, I want to thank you for the information. It helped me understand you better too. And so, I hear Raza talk about we're all Raza now. It doesn't matter if you're from El Salvador, if you're from Guatemala or Honduras or Mexican or Chicano, we're all Raza. I'm cool with that. And so, I don't know if they mean it or it's just lip service. But in interacting with Paula, I've come to appreciate we're all Raza, I think, a little bit differently than I hear it used on YouTube. So she shared the names and music of folk singers who were activists, who paid with their lives for their activism. And then most recently, in talking about Ms. Pollard and Martin Luther King, she shared some history of El Salvador, known as La Matanza. And what happened was, in January 22nd, 1932, La Matanza, or the Massacre, commenced. The price of coffee had dropped. And in response, the oligarchs of that country seized more land and halved the peasants' wages. So they organized and had an insurrection, and some communists were elected to office, and the government refused to seat them. And here we often hear, oh, those are communists, those are communists. And I'm not a communist. I don't belong to any political party. But in this story, the people that were elected to office and were communists were representing the most marginalized, impoverished people there. And when they weren't seated, there was another insurrection and protest. And in the course of 1 week, 30,000 people were killed by soldiers. Government soldiers killed 30,000 people in 1 week. The vast majority were indigenous, poor people. After that, they couldn't wear or adorn any vestiges of their culture. They had to hide their culture or risk being targeted again by the government. And so dictator after dictator for decades afterwards, ruled with an iron thumb. And, when I hear about how they were marginalized even more just because the price of coffee dropped and wealthy people were taking a loss, they just decided to take it. And when the people spoke up, they were oppressed and killed for it. And again, these are the indigenous peoples of El Salvador. And You know, when I heard Raza say, we're all Raza, I don't know if they see that as like, in these stories being shared with me, I feel like those struggles that they've gone through, like those are part of my struggles as well, man. Not because I'm trying to appropriate their suffering, but because it's the same story. And if we're all gonna be Raza, we should appreciate each other's history of marginalization and oppression, because we share those histories. I remember I was having I don't know if it was a debate, a discussion with someone I genuinely like and admire as a good person, Javier. And it was about ethnic pride. And I said, you know, that the argument was, well, when I have this ethnic pride, I can draw strength from what the Mexica did and see myself as a warrior. And much love to you, Javi. And I said, if I don't have ethnic pride, Martin Luther King's struggles are my struggles. Gandhi's struggles are my struggles. Emiliano Zapata's struggles are my struggles. Because I identify with humankind, and those struggles are the same throughout. And so I'm really grateful for Paula sharing this information with me. It helps me understand, I think, the world better and myself better. And so I'll post a link. I think it's important that if Raza says we're all Raza, that we find the shared struggles and empathize with those. In closing, I want to thank someone else, Miss Margaret in West Oakland. Thank you for highlighting the civil rights issues in South Sacramento. You have a big voice. People listen, and I'm grateful that you brought those things up. Much love to both of you. Have a good one.